Mike Gallagher.
It's fun to see political heavyweights here at CPAC as the vice president is speaking. Senator Ted Cruz. You always can tell when there's a throng around you, Senator. You know you're somebody. Welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. Welcome back.
Mike, it's always great to be with you. Thanks for having me once again.
No, it's a pleasure. And everybody's so excited about, all I hear about from listeners with you right now is one thing. El Chapo needs to pay for the wall.
Absolutely.
How's that not getting legs, or is it?
It is getting a lot of support from the American people. We haven't voted on it in the Senate, and it is a simple, common-sense solution. The bill I introduced, the El Chapo Act, says all of the money criminally forfeited from El Chapo and from other drug lords should go to build the wall and secure the border.
Who could oppose that?
Well, you know what? It will really put the lie to the Democrats. The Democrats claim one of the objections that they claim to the wall is they say, oh, it costs too much. It costs too much. Now, set aside for a minute, Mike. Can you think of any instance in the history of the universe where Democrats have thought anything costs too much? I mean, they're willing to pour money down a rat hole on the stupidest ideas imaginable. But when it actually comes to securing the border, keeping our country safe, then they say it costs too much. Well, we passed the El Chapo Act, and building the wall would cost the taxpayers $0, not a penny, because we take it all from the ill-gotten billions that have been made trafficking narcotics illegally across our border.
You know what they hate about it? Mexico will wind up having paid for the wall. And they'll hate that because Trump will fulfill yet another promise.
Well, and hate, unfortunately, is a word that describes where the Democratic Party is right now. They're not a party driven by reason or facts or logic. They're driven by rage, which is their base. They just hate Trump. And by the way, their entire reasoning on this is essentially Trump supports the wall. They hate Trump. Therefore, no wall.
No wall. But and I've got to say something personal towards you, if you don't mind, because I followed, as you know, I was out on the campaign trail with you. I interviewed you when you ran for president. The president, like everybody else, came at you real hard. And a lot of the people who he went after, they hate him. They're never Trumpers. They don't care if they're conservatives. They don't care if they're Republicans. They seem to sound like every liberal Democrat who wants to stop everything he's done. Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, said, you know what? He got the nomination. He's my president. He's the Republican. I mean, I hope you know how many of us appreciate the honor and the integrity that it took for you not to go down that never Trump rabbit hole, because it's a bad place to be, Senator Cruz, when you're a Republican.
Well, look, you're exactly right, Mike. Thank you. But it's real simple. We got a job to do. The stakes that we're fighting for. We had a rough primary. It was hard shots were fought, and you know what? It's over. The people decided. I believe in the democratic process. Right. And, I can tell you the week after the November election in 2016, I got on a plane and I flew to New York, went to Trump Tower, sat down with the president and his team for 4.5 hours. And what I told him then, I said, Mr. President, this is an historic opportunity. It happens very, very rarely, and I want to do everything humanly possible to lead the fight for us to deliver on our promises, for us to do what we said we would do. And that's what I've done every day since then, is rolling up my sleeves and doing the hard work to get the victories that we owe the American people.
Did you ever think in all the years that you've been in public service that you'd see the opposition party as radical and as crazy and as extreme? Forget voting and supporting the El Chapo bill. How about voting for infanticide?
Yeah.
How about celebrating infanticide? Senator, it's off the deep end.
It is. You think a few weeks back to the State of the Union address.
Right.
That really was a powerful illustration of how radical and extreme Democrats have gotten. You point out infanticide. That Democrats are now the party of late-term abortions, or even in the case of some Democrats, abortions after birth. I mean, and you and I are both old enough to remember Bill Clinton standing there saying,
"Keep it rare.
Safe, legal, and rare."
Legal and
now,
rare.
Nobody believed him when he said that, but he was at least saying it. That is not the Democrats' position anymore. They are the party that celebrates late-term abortions, and that is 9% of Americans agree with them. 91% say that's too extreme, and that's where they've gone. They're the same place on immigration. They are for open borders. You now got their presidential candidates saying not only do they not want to build walls, they want to tear down the walls we have.
Beto O'Rourke, now he's reportedly eyeing John Cornyn's seat, and going to go after Senator Cornyn.
Well, he just announced this week that he's not running for Senate.
He says that, but do you believe him?
I think he's going to run for president.
Okay.
I think he's going to Iowa, and I think he'll be a formidable Democrat. I'll tell you why. He will raise unlimited cash. And he has a very dangerous combination, which is on substance and policy. He is hard left. There's nobody who will get to his left on substance or policy. But on tone and rhetoric, he sounds reasonable and moderate. It's very much like Barack Obama in 2008 and hope and change. And that is a dangerous combination.
We were just talking about this with listeners. Joe Biden, of course, according to The Hill, is a campaign in waiting. He's ready.
Yep.
I've always been concerned about Joe Biden because, to me, at least, having covered this for 40 years, he looks like a Democrat. He talks like a Democrat. He's more traditional because Americans can't be accepting even the craziness of Beto O'Rourke saying, we'll tear down the walls. And which, incidentally, you kind of have to say if you don't want walls up, you got to take walls down. When the American people hear that message from somebody like Beto O'Rourke, it's a non-starter, I would hope.
I hope so, but I am not sure that's right. Look, I think Biden has a lot of the Washington crew that wants to see him as the nominee. I don't think he will be. I think all of the energy.
You don't think it's Biden?
I don't at all. I think all of the energy, all of the passion, and the Democratic Party is on the extreme left.
Wow.
And so I think their top tier of candidates is Kamala Harris and Beto O'Rourke and Elizabeth Warren.
Not Cory Booker.
I think Cory is talented, but I don't think he has nearly the kind of crazy zealotry some of those others do.
Yeah.
And
listen, Mark Davis from Dallas.
I know Mark well.
In fact, Ruth Crawford, who's a Texan, she came by. She gave us a Keep Texas red button. She knows Rhonda Kay. Mark and I always have a joke about the talk radio gods smiling on us because for our business, I mean, listen, we're lit, right? This is the time. If Elizabeth Warren is the nominee, and there is a day that comes where Donald Trump and Elizabeth Warren were on the campaign on the debate stage together, the talk radio gods haven't smiled. They have poured their gracious because you think you had it rough. What do you think he's going to do to Elizabeth Warren?
Look, I think the 2020 general election is going to be a brutal carpet bombing on both sides.
Yeah.
But, you commented, well, gosh, if they nominate a crazy, we know they can't win. Here's the dangerous thing, Mike. Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Don't take it for granted.
We are a very divided country. Just yesterday, polling came out in the state of Texas that had, for example, Beto O'Rourke and Donald Trump in Texas.
Dead heat.
1 point apart.
Yeah, 1 point in Texas.
In Texas.
That can't be.
I mean, that is dangerous.
Yeah.
And so it is important. Anger is a powerful political motivator, and the left is filled with blinding rage.
Yes.
You got to take that seriously, and that means those of us who value freedom, who value low taxes and low regulations and lots of jobs, who want to see the Constitution and Bill of Rights protected, who want to see the border secured, we've got to be willing to work just as hard to turn everybody else out because they're going to turn out every crazy in the country.
It's a very important message, and we need to all take it to heart. We can't laugh off Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We can't laugh these guys off. We've got to take it seriously. You're taking it seriously. It's great to see you in person. I'm used to interviewing you over the phone, so it's got – I don't know how to make eye contact, and you got the beard thing going.
Well, I'm trying to go incognito.
Nobody recognizes you here. I think the beard's a good look.
I'm having fun with it. If nothing else, it is driving lefties on Twitter crazy. and that's just inherently good.
Well, listen, if that makes you happy, then I'm happy.
But by the way, I don't know if you saw at CPAC, I just made a run to get the PETA endorsement because I pointed out that this Green New Deal wants to eliminate farting cows.
Yes.
And if they want to get rid of all the cows, I'm going to say I'm for keeping the cows, and I want PETA supporting us.
Going out on a limb, as usual. Senator Cruz, great seeing you. Thank you, sir. Keep it up. Senator Ted Cruz from the great state of Texas, beard and all. What a busy time. And listen, it's great to hear voices like Senator Cruz, serious, optimistic, and confident.